All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something that, seems so simple, a box. But we're about to see how getting that box just a little bit wrong can have these huge hidden costs, and how one really powerful idea is turning it all on its head.
I mean, I bet this has happened to you. You've ordered something you're really excited for, it finally arrives, you tear open the package, and total disappointment. It's cracked, or dented, or just completely useless. So frustrating, right?
Okay, so take that feeling of frustration, and now imagine it amplified like 1,000 times over. That's what happens in high-tech manufacturing. See, for them, a single broken part isn't just an annoyance. It can literally bring a multi-million-dollar production line to a dead stop. And that one broken piece, well, it's really just the tip of a much, much bigger iceberg.
So, Section 1. Let's start with that tip of the iceberg, the part of the problem that everyone can see.
Yeah, the industry actually has a term for this, defect on arrival, DOA. This is when a really critical component, we're talking something for a medical scanner or a sensitive semiconductor machine, shows up at its destination completely unusable. And believe me, this is way more than an inconvenience. For the customer on the other end, it can be a total catastrophe.
So, what's the main culprit? You might think it's, a rough delivery guy. But research from the University of Groningen points to something surprisingly simple. The real problem is that the sender, way back at the beginning of the journey, just picked the wrong box. They didn't think about all the bumps and drops and shakes that a package actually goes through.
And here's where it gets crazy. That one simple mistake kicks off this whole chain reaction of hidden costs. Costs that go way, way beyond just replacing the broken thing. So in Section 2, let's break down the 3 biggest ones.
First up, the money. And honestly, this is just staggering. Fixing one of these DOA items can end up costing up to 10 times the original value of the part itself. And you might be asking, how is that even possible? Well, think about it. You're not just paying for a new part, you're paying for rush shipping, you're flying engineers out to the site, you're paying for the customer's factory being shut down. The costs just explode.
Okay, the second cost, it's operational waste. And I love this phrase from the source material. Companies are literally paying to transport air. When the packaging isn't right-sized, you get these huge boxes for tiny parts stuffed with tons of plastic filler. And what does that mean? It means our trucks and shipping containers are half full of nothing. It's just a massive waste of space and fuel.
And number 3, flowing right from that, is the environmental cost. All that wasted plastic and foam has a real serious impact. Get this, for every single kilogram of plastic packaging film used, it creates 3.5 kilograms of CO2. Now just try to imagine that scaled up across the entire global manufacturing industry. We are talking about a literal mountain of needless waste and emissions.
So, okay, the problem is clear, right? A simple bad box kicks off this terrible domino effect. The solution, then, isn't just a better box. It's about thinking in a totally new way. And that brings us to Section 3, and a framework the source material calls integral packaging management.
This whole approach is built on 4 main pillars. First is design for packaging. This means you're thinking about the box from the very start. When you're still designing the product itself, think about how IKEA designs furniture specifically to fit in a flat pack. It's that kind of thinking. Second, uniform processes. You create one clear standard way to pack things so everybody does it exactly the same every time. Third is chain collaboration, getting all your suppliers on the same page, using the packaging you want them to use so you don't have to repack everything. And finally, tracking and tracing, using technology to keep an eye on a package's condition while it's on its journey.
And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. It really works. Take Philips Healthcare, for example. They put this kind of integrated approach into practice. Their director, Eric Armstrong, put it this way. It used to take 4 weeks of on-site training to connect a new partner to our packaging concept. Now, it takes a few hours online. I mean, wow. Just think about that jump in efficiency. It's incredible.
But that leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it? How can just one company possibly manage all of this across a huge global supply chain? And that question brings us to Section 4 and the core idea of this whole explainer, the packaging control tower.
I mean, it really does seem impossible, right? A company that makes, say, medical equipment. They're experts at that.
They're not experts in managing the packaging logistics for every single supplier and shipper all over the world. They just don't have that specific knowledge, and honestly, they don't have the power to tell everyone else what to do.
And that's where this idea comes in. It's called fourth-party packaging, or 4PP for short. The easiest way to think about a 4PP is as an independent partner, a specialist, whose only job is to be the conductor for your entire packaging orchestra. They are the central brain, the mission control for the whole thing.
Now, to make this super clear, let's compare it to something you might already be familiar with, a 3PL, or a third-party logistics company. A 3PL are the doers. They're the ones with the trucks and the warehouses. A 4PPS is different. They are the planners. They don't own the trucks. They're the strategic control tower that tells all the different doers what to do, where to go, and when, all to get the best possible result.
So now we're in section 5. And this control tower model, it does more than just save money and prevent damage. It actually unlocks something much, much bigger, a path to a truly circular future.
The benefits here are just huge. You're looking at fewer damages and lower costs, for sure. You get total insight into what's happening. You have one single company to call for anything related to packaging. They're always looking for ways to make things better. But the real game changer, the ultimate prize, is that last point. A 4PP partner makes a truly reusable, circular packaging system actually achievable.
And how? Well, because this one partner sees and controls the entire chain, they can design the packaging to be reused from day one. And more importantly, they can handle the logistics of getting all those boxes and packing materials back efficiently. It completely changes the game. Packaging stops being a disposable piece of trash and becomes a valuable asset that you use over and over again.
So, when you boil it all down, the real lesson here isn't just about boxes. It's about learning to see the whole system instead of just focusing on the one broken part. This control tower idea solved a broken packaging system. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? What's the hidden, messy, inefficient process in your world that's just waiting for its own control tower to come along and fix it?